I've been so alone ever since I left the tribe. That's just how it goes, cause I like the lonely vibe. But they'll never know, cause I'm always on my grind. And I live a lonely life, and I'm never getting stressed, cause I gotta stay.
What's going on, guys? It's Komar, and I'm back with another video. Today we'll be doing some deck profiling. Today we have Krawlers. Now, Krawlers are super cheap, super fun, but more importantly, super cheap. All of these guys are gonna be commons. Your core is gonna be crazy cheap just because they're straight commons, super new, and not meta. So all of that spells greatness for a cheap deck. Now, the techs I'll be using, the things that I fit in, definitely you can change it up to whatever you need. There are lots of options too. A couple of them are like Verdant Sanctuary, excuse me, Multiplication of Ants, World Legacy Clash. I had that one in here for a little while. This is just what I've chosen, and you guys can go with whatever you want. I even mixed some Krawldangles in here, if you notice the title there. I did mix a couple Krawldangles. I had more, I went less, finally settled on 3, but we'll get to those soon. Let's start off with the deck profile. Now, with all Krawlers, of course they're all flip effect monsters. All of the monsters we're running are flip effect monsters, minus our hand traps. So, but with the Krawlers themselves, all of them have this effect. If they leave the field because of a card effect, you get to summon 2 Krawlers from your deck. So all of these are going to have that, so I won't touch on that a million times. Alright, so first off we run 3 Krawler Galal. With Galal, his flip effect is you get to special summon 1 Krawler from your graveyard or hand in face up attack position or face down defense position. So just, really depends on what you want to get going there. Alright, next up we have 3 Krawler Spine. Now, Krawler Spine's a pretty nice one. His flip effect is you get to target one of your opponent's monsters and destroy it. It's as simple as that. Alright, then we have 3 Krawler Axon. Now, Krawler Axon acts as our spell and trap removal in the deck. So when he is flip summoned, you get to target 1 spell or trap card and destroy it. And then we have 3 Krawler Receptor. Our Krawler Receptor, his flip effect is you get to add 1 Krawler from your deck to your hand. Pretty simple. And then we have 1 Krawler Dendrite. His effect's not super special, pretty simple too. Send 1 monster from deck to your graveyard. That's it. So you can, use him with Galal, pretty fun. Alright. Pretty fun, that didn't make sense. Anyway, let's move on. We have 2 World Legacy World Armor. He's a little bit of a beefcake with 2500 attack, 2500 defense, and this is the World Legacy card that pertains to the Krawlers. I don't know if you've ever looked into the lore of the World Legacy stuff, but it's all one big world. We got Mech Knights, we have World Chalice, and then Krawlers, and then they're adding 1 more that was announced recently. Pelodians? They're like little paladins. I saw it announced on a channel today. They were going through it. It seems pretty cool. Anyway, with World Legacy World Armor, when a monster is flip summoned, you can special summon this card. When it is normal summoned or special summoned, you can actually add 1 World Legacy card from your deck to your hand. So whether you want World Legacy Clash, World Legacy Pawns, your field spell, which is pretty important, World Legacy and Shadow, you get to do that with this guy. He also has a quick effect while he's on the field. You get to target 1 opponent's cards that was summoned from the extra deck and return this card and your opponent's card back to the hand. And of course, we all know extra deck monsters don't sit in the hand, so of course they'll go back to the extra deck. Next up is our Krawldangles. I will show these guys together. I did do 2 Krawldangle Angel and 1 Krawldangle Protector. Now, Krawldangle Angel, you can special summon a monster from your hand or graveyard. By the way, these are still flip effect monsters, which is why they mesh so well with this deck. The Angel, you can special summon a monster from your hand or graveyard into face down defense positions, and then if it is your opponent's battle phase, in the battle phase. So, get that flip going on if they attack this one. You can also use World Legacy Pawns. We'll get into that soon. That card's pretty fun to use. But anyway, yeah, that's Angel, and then Protector over there. You get to change, we just use the first part of effect, change up to 3 face down defense position monsters into face up. So we get to activate some flip effects going on there. Next up is our hand traps. First we have 2 effect failures, and then 3 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbits. Now I prefer Ghost Ogre over Ash Blossom. She's cuter. I know she's a child, but she doesn't have a giant forehead. And Ash Blossom's super expensive. I actually traded off the 2 that I had to afford some pretty good cards. Alright, next up is our spells. We first off are going with 3 World Legacy in Shadow. This one is the most important spell that you're going to run in this deck. It is our field spell. Now, World Legacy in Shadow, all crawlers gain 300 attack and defense. And then once per turn, you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower insect monster. Which that's every single one of the crawlers that exist are level 2 or lower insect monsters. And then here's the icing on the cake though. If a monster is destroyed by battle, if a flip monster is destroyed by, not just any, if a flip monster is destroyed by battle, you get to kind of call revenge and destroy that attacking monster. It's pretty ballin'. Next up, we have 2 Terraforming, just because we want to search out that World Legacy in Shadow. And then we have 2 Scapegoat, because it's Scapegoat. Also Earth Monster. Some of our Link monsters need some Earth monsters to go along with. 1 Raigeki, because we don't want our opponents to play Yu-Gi-Oh! 1 Monster Reborn, because why not? It is at 1. You get that free card out of the deal. Whatever you want, whether it's a Link, a Fusion, a Synchro, if it's in the graveyard or your opponent's graveyard, it's a free game. And then we have 1 Double Summon, just so that I can get a couple extra crawlers out on the field. Messed around with the Double Summon for a while. That one's just my choice. Next up is our traps. We have 3 World Legacy Pawns, our most important trap in the deck. With this one, we get to play peekaboo with some effect monsters. The more of these you have out, the better your day will be. So with World Legacy Pawns, target 1 face down card you control, monster anyway, you control, and flip it face up. You can also shuffle 1 crawler from your graveyard to your deck and flip a face up card face down. So we just get to play peekaboo with our effect monsters. And then we have 2 Bottomless and 2 Solemn Strike. Now with the double summon, this is what I was switching out. I did have a Solemn Warning in here, so you know, just kind of played around with that. I kept the double summon going on. Alright, that does it for the main deck. Let's get on to our extra deck, which is mainly comprised, well, all comprised of Link monsters. Now, all Krawler Links are going to have the same base effect that our Crawlers did by if they go to the graveyard due to a card effect, you get to summon 2 Krawler monsters from your deck. This one is also from battle as well, so if it's destroyed because of battle, you get the same thing going on, and all that's going to go with all the same Link monsters there. So anyway, this is our main boss guy, Krawler. He's got the arrow pointing down to the left and the arrow pointing down to the right. He is a Link 2, and you need 2 Crawlers, so it's super easy to get out. Flood your Crawlers real good. And then he has different effects based on how many Crawlers you have on the field. So if it's 2+, all Crawlers gain 300 attack and defense. If it's 4+, card effects by opponents cannot be activated during the battle phase. And 6+, which is my favorite and still simple to do, monsters you control can attack directly. Not just Crawlers, just monsters. But if it's 6+, you're going to need all Crawlers. Alrighty. Then we have X-Krawler Neurogus. This guy's got the left and the right arrow pointing, going down. He is a Link 2 for insect monsters. Again, this is where like multiplication of ants can come into play. But anyway, any crawlers his arrows point to cannot be destroyed by battle, and then any battle damage your crawlers inflict, that's, you know, whatever, is doubled. So it has to just be linked to it, basically. You get cannot be destroyed by battle, and then any damage, direct damage, gets doubled. Then we have X Krawler Synapsis. He is a link to as well, and he's also to Earth monsters, which is why I run Scapegoat. It's Scapegoat. So he has the same effect as in any crawlers that his arrows point to can't be destroyed by battle. Then his extra one is the ones that he points to get 300 attack and defense. So that's what, 3 different things that you can get 300 attack and defense off of. Synapsis, Qualiarch, World Legacy, and Shadow. You've got an extra 900 right there. Next up, we have Subterra Behemoth Fiendus. If I had another one of these, I would run an extra one. It is another link to, actually I think, yeah, everything's linked to that we were using. And he needs 2 flip monsters. We run everything that's flip monsters, so we're good there. But anyway, he's got going on during a main phase, send 1 flip monster from your deck to your graveyard, and special summon 1 monster from your hand to the link arrow. If a monster this card is pointed to is flip face up, you can add 1 flip monster from your hand to your hand from your deck or your graveyard. Pretty ballin'. And then we've just got some standard Underclock Tager and Misa's Radiant. That is our extra deck. Guys, that wraps it up for this deck profile. Like I said, you can do whatever you want in here. But the crawlers in and of themselves, that's basically what you need. Switch out a little bit of, you know, Krawldangles if you want to run pure crawlers. Do World Legacy Clash and another Dendrite. That's just what I chose to do with mine. So guys, like and subscribe the video if we enjoyed the content. We've got tons of extra fun stuff coming up, so don't miss out on it. We've got the new Layer of Darkness structure deck coming out next week. I will be reviewing that. We've got Flood coming out. We've got Altar Guys going to be complete. I've got a World Chalice deck profile. I've got a Hero deck profile. I've got tons of fun stuff planned. So definitely don't miss out. Like and subscribe to the video, and we'll see you next time. Stay frosty.